Hey friends, what's up? Phillip here with Points of Phillip, and I actually want to talk to you about how I'm surviving having 10 sign-up bonuses running so far this year. And well, a lot of them are still going on. So I want to talk about my strategy and my plan for how to deal with this. But before I do that, I want to go ahead and ask you guys to like and subscribe. Doing that helps me and YouTube know that what I'm doing is helpful for you, the viewer, and by you doing that, that helps more people be able to see this video. So I really appreciate it. And more importantly too, I know I kind of sound like a broken record, but I really do want to appreciate and thank everyone who's been a subscriber so far. The support really means a lot to me. All right, now that that's out of the way, let's go ahead and get started. So let's take a look at my 10 sign-up bonuses. So, and then I also have a couple other cards that are bonus categories that don't actually have like sign-up bonuses, or at least not in the traditional sense, but they do still have interesting spending requirements, and we'll talk to that as well. So the first one here is going to be the OneKey Card, and the OneKey Card is issued by Wells Fargo Bank, and you're going to kick me because I actually signed up for this card the week before everything kind of blew up. So this is only going to be for the $300 in OneKey cash. After you spend $1,000 in 3 months. Now, this one I got recently, and I haven't really put a whole lot of spend on it, only like $20. But I do have a Hilton stay in Hershey, Pennsylvania coming up, and a rental car that I'm gonna have to do. And between those two things, that actually does kind of knock out the $1,000 in spend. So that's kind of be my plan for getting that out of the way. Now, so just kind of some general ideas before I get into like the actual hard ones. I wanted to talk about my strategy. So first of all, I use Copilot as my budgeting app. And so what that does, the reason I used it is because first of all, it syncs with most of my banks on a fairly consistent basis. But it also works really well with iOS. And so I am an iPhone person, iPad, I have a MacBook, the whole 9 yards, and it really works well. There's a MacBook app that syncs really well. The whole system just works really well. And so what I do is I log into my bank accounts on the Copilot app, my bank accounts and my credit card accounts and my investment accounts for that matter, including Gemini and other kind of cryptocurrency accounts. But anyway, what that does is that kind of tracks my spending, and I can create a budget based on that. And so like it'll say, okay, you have, $100 left in shopping category so far this month or something like that. And so it's really helpful for making sure, okay, if you're asking, okay, do I have the money in my budget to make this purchase? It's very good at answering that. So that's really helpful. All right. So another thing that I do is I also make sure that I get a specific date that spend needs to be accomplished by. Now, most banks are really good about this. So if you have a bank or a card with Chase, if you have a card with, let's see, Capital One, I'm not sure about. If you have a, Wells Fargo is really good about it. Gemini is good about it. Sometimes they'll have an in-app tracker that will show you. Citibank is actually really good about this too, where they'll have an in-app tracker where you can actually see, okay, I have say another $1,000 to meet by 2 months from now or something like that. So those are really good. However, American Express not so good about that. Now there are other ways. You can go into your statements and do spending as of so far this year and stuff like that. And that's one way to get around it. What I like to do is I actually like to use Max Rewards, and I have the gold tier plan. And what I do is I actually log into my credit card accounts on that, and that tracks my due dates, it tracks my rewards, it tracks my offers, things like that. It's really solid. If you're going to have multiple credit cards, it's a great way to manage that. And I'll have a referral link in the description below if you'd like to go ahead and join the Max Rewards Gold. I'm not exactly sure what you get or what I get, but it helps. I appreciate it. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into my others. So I'm going to go into the other 9 sign-up bonuses and kind of how I've met them or how I plan to meet them. So, okay. So this is the Business Platinum Card from American Express. And this card, I got a special targeted offer for 250,000 American Express points after spending $20,000 in spend over 3 months. And so I actually ended up needing to spend about, actually just a hair over $20,000 in taxes this year. And so, well, I got this on, I think a Monday, and then I got the card on a Wednesday, and then I spent it on a Friday, and then actually my points posted by that Monday. So the quickest way I've ever earned 250,000 American Express points. And well, I've been kind of working on earning some money back from these credits on this. And so this one is in the bag. I'm going to go ahead and put that over there. Now, the next card I'm going to talk about is going to be the American Express Business Gold. Or Delta Business Gold. And so this one here, I actually did not get the higher sign-up bonus. So this has 60,000 points after spending $4,000 in 6 months. Now I have until I think it's the end of August or the beginning of September to actually make this spend. And so I actually really haven't started it yet. I'm about $100 into it. But starting the middle of next month, I'm really going to start hitting this one hard. And so when I do start spending on this one, this will be the only sign-up bonus I'm working on, at least as of now. And so I really project being able to hit that $4,000 by then pretty well. So that's that. Now, let's take a look at the Amtrak. And so this is the Amtrak Guest Rewards Preferred card. So this is the one that has the $99 annual fee. I also really talk a lot about kind of why I got this, or in my video where I talk about kind of what I want to get. Now this one had a special higher sign-up bonus of 40,000 Amtrak points after spending, I think it was $3,000 in 3 months. I actually got that knocked out pretty quickly because as soon as I got this card, I ended up just using it directly on everything. And so now this one didn't have the tracker. FNBO's website or app is woefully inadequate. In fact, that's actually probably why I won't use it anymore, because it really doesn't sync with Max Rewards or anything else like that. So I really hate it when that happens. So I probably won't be using it much more. I'll keep it open until I get rid of the points. But anyway, that is out of the way. All right. Let's take a look at the next card now, and that's going to be my Gemini card. So this one has $200 in Bitcoin, or cryptocurrency of your choice. I chose Bitcoin. After you spend $3,000 in 3 months. So I've just finished my first billing cycle on this, so I have another 2 months to go. I think it's towards the beginning of August is my due date. Now, the Gemini app actually has a really helpful tracker for how much spend you have left to do. Now, this is going to be my primary spend card until I get that done. So it should be pretty quickly. I'm already about a third of the way there. So I'll definitely hit this, but this is my primary spend card right now, and it doesn't actually sync up with Max Rewards or Copilot. So once I stop using this, I probably won't be using it moving forward, unless maybe a gas card thing, because it gets 4% back on that. All right, let's get into another big dog card, the American Express Platinum card. So this actually was an upgrade offer. So I was in pop-up jail for, basically the Platinum card directly as a sign-up bonus. However, after I had my gold card for a year, I ended up getting a special mailer for 125,000 points after I spent $6,000 in 6 months. And so I only have about $500 left in this because I gave this to my wife and she's putting all of her spend on it. And we've also did some other kind of planning trips things. So we did a boat rental that we're doing for Father's Day weekend, and I put that on here. And then also I planned a bunch of guys trip on Louisville, and I put all my purchases on here. So Viator and everything else was through here, which was nice. There was a cool offer that stacked pretty well. And then I also used Rakuten for that. So that's also a good thing to do. So I only have about $500 left on this, so we'll get that done pretty quickly. I think this needs to be done by the end of August. Okay, so let's take a look now at the regular gold card. So this actually was an upgrade offer. This was 30,000 points after I spent $1,000 in 6 months, actually. So I had wide open. I was like, yeah, sure, I'm definitely going to hit that, and I did. I took my wife out to a couple restaurants out to eat, hit this sign-up bonus, and it posted immediately, which was nice. So that is out of the way. Now let's take a look at the American Express Business Gold Card. And so this is actually going to be the rose gold one, which I actually just got because I hadn't seen it in person before, and I needed a way to differentiate the two gold cards in my Apple Wallet. And so the gold card just seemed like an easy choice. So that is one option. So this had 150,000 point spend after spending, or 150,000 point bonus after spending $15,000 in 3 months. And so I actually got this card in February because my original plan was just put all of my spend on this between my wife and I on here, and then kind of use my tax bill as kind of a stopgap. So I knew that no matter what, I would get that 150,000 points. Well, turns out my wife and I did an impromptu trip to Europe in March, and that helped us kind of push us over the edge on getting this paid, or getting this spending requirement down. So I actually cleared this pretty much like the week before my tax bill actually came due. And that's how I ended up being able to do the Business Platinum card. So that was kind of an impulse decision, but I was able to use this plus a Business Platinum card to get, well, a lot of American Express points. Okay, so let's take a look now at the next one. That's going to be the Sapphire Preferred by Chase. And so this card here had the special heightened sign-up bonus of 100,000 points after spending $5,000 in 3 months. Now, this actually ended up being, while I was working on the Amtrak card, and the Platinum card for that matter. My wife was working on this directly, and so she was able to meet this spending limit because we put all of her spending directly on it. And so that is how we made this work. And so this is out of the way. Okay, let's take a look now at the City A Advantage Platinum Select. Now this one has an annual fee that's waived in the first year, but I ended up getting targeted special mailer for 80,000 American Airlines points after spending $4,000 in 4 months. And so that's kind of a unique way. And I actually just finished that off today, actually. So that is done. So now pretty much the only ones that I'm working on are going to be the Gemini Card, the OneKey Card, and I think there was, let's see, the Platinum Card too. Yeah, so working on these 3 at the moment. And, we'll see what happens after I get there. So anyway, let's take a look too at the 2 honorable mentions. So the Mesa homeowner card I talked about, this has a spending requirement for every month. Now you have to hit $1,000 in spend over every month. I did a video where I talked about the fact that I, basically by just switching my insurance bills to this card and other things, I was able to actually get that spend pretty close to 1,000. So I just had to go to the gas station 2 or 3 times on this card, and I'm there. And so that's really nice. And so, but this past month, I actually wasn't able to use it so much because I lost the card, and then, well, their customer service took about 2.5 weeks to actually get it back to me. So I wasn't able to get that requirement for this month, but I was able to put all that other spend on other cards to help me meet those spending requirements. Now, this card is interesting too. This is a Southwest Priority card. Now, I only bring it up because in March, I actually had a special sign-up bonus. It was put $1,000 on spend on the card, and you get it like an extra, I think it was like three Southwest points per dollar or something crazy. And that comes up every once in a while. Well, there'll be a special bonus if you spend on this card. And so if I have room where I'm not necessarily working towards a spending bonus or something, I can do that. So Southwest points have been pretty beneficial, have been pretty valuable to me. It looks like, based on the kind of flights that I would do for award rates, that their new rates aren't that terrible. But we'll see what happens. I'm not really as excited about Southwest, but I will keep this card open until I figure out what they're new, because my annual fee is set to post soon, and on this card, and I'm going to have, so hopefully I'll be able to get the anniversary bonus points and then lock in that $75 of Southwest spend per year with that credit card, with that benefit. And then hopefully I'll be able to get whatever the benefits are after they refresh the card, which is supposed to come later this year. So anyway, those are my 10 sign-up bonus cards that I've done so far this year, and my other 2 that kind of sort of have the sign-up bonuses. But anyway, thanks so much for joining me. I really appreciate you coming in and kind of listening on this little rant of how I'm able to kind of reach these sign-up bonuses. But anyway, thanks so much again for joining me, and I can't wait to see you again until next time.